We're just going to talk about a couple of different variations to jibing. A few people have got their own techniques, and there's a couple of different ways and approaches to go about it. The wind this day is pretty onshore, so I think it was actually pretty light too this day. So yeah, I guess pretty close to the shore here. So this is a jibe where you're kind of just turning really sharp and short on the spot. You're not doing an arcing turn at all. As you sort of spot where you want to stop to turn around to go the other way, as you're bringing your kite up, you want to keep your kite really high, straight above your head, and really jam that back foot and fins into the water, and really you're sort of pivoting on your back foot and whipping the board around. And as soon as you're pivoting, you're cranking the kite down in the direction that you're going to be headed, and yeah, you want to just keep the kite moving, so it's giving yourself a bit of momentum. Sort of riding out of that too, goofy, till I sort of find a bit more of an open area where I can switch feet easily to left foot forward to natural stance. When you actually do the jibe, you sort of leave your front foot pretty much in the same spot and just basically move your back foot, slide it up next to your front one, and then your front one to the back of the board after. So you basically, for a split second, your feet are kind of next to each other. So now we're going to switch over to a clip of bend. A lot of crew out there don't ride switch at all, even during jibing and that sort of thing. They just constantly ride their preferred stance, whether that's goofy or natural, and just ride heel side or toe side. So here's a good example of just doing basically a carving jibe of some sort. It's not a traditional jibe because you're not actually switching your feet, but it's just a good way to run through how to change direction from riding toe side to heel side. So you can see in this clip, Ben's just cruising along. Just before he's about to turn, you can see the backhand really turn the kite and crank it back the other way. He starts to really cut up wind, and what you're basically doing is just following the kite. You're just that split second behind it. So as the kite starts to, you can see the kite turning back. As the kite turns that way, you just flatten the board right out, get onto your heel side, and just carve through that turn. And as you ride out of it, both hands back on the bar, and yeah, you're away. And so yeah, in that clip, Ben was coming in toe side, and now he's riding back out heel side. So not actually changing his stance at all, just riding from a different rail. Right, so 3 main points to keep in mind for jibing is firstly kite positioning as you're coming, as you're starting to slow down and think about jibing. You want to keep your kite moving forward as you approach your jibe, and then as you're about to stop, keeping it nice and high so you can stop, either switch your feet or carve first and turn around the other way. Secondly is basically the middle of the jibe. So you're keeping your kite high, but you really want to be thinking about turning it the other way. So as you're stopping, changing direction, you're starting to turn your kite back the other way in the direction that you want to go. Another point to keep in mind is how you'd like to do the jibe. I prefer going into all my jibes on my preferred stance, which is goofy. So if I'm riding out through the surf and I'm left foot forward, I'll switch feet with my right foot forward before I turn and go back the other way. So, and vice versa, if I'm coming in goofy, I'll turn and then switch my feet after I've heading back out, and ride back out, switch after that. So there's a couple ways around it, but I just find it easier doing the actual turn on my preferred stance. Alright, well, shit.
Nah, it's good.